Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Daytime Shoes here, giving my follow up night before week 2 of the college football season. Last week, we had some pretty big games, pretty close games, pretty wild games. Um, I'm just gonna go over them right here quickly. At least the games that shocked me. The first one was Oregon versus Idaho. I thought Oregon was going to be a very, very high powered offense, and that Oregon was going to walk all over Idaho. However, while the defense did look good on the Oregon side, only getting scored on a couple trick plays, the offense did not look great. Dylan Gabriel looked okay, but it was mostly the offensive line that struggled a lot. Now, the team that I thought wasn't going to do great and ended up doing great, the Miami Hurricanes. Wow, Cam Ward looks like the guy. He looks like he could be an NFL quarterback already. His vision on the field, his ability to escape, his improvisation all looks incredible. So, the Georgia Clemson game of course went pretty well. My biggest shock was Virginia Tech, who was supposed to be a very good team this year, losing to Vanderbilt. Um, Let me just look at some of these stats real quick. Virginia Tech did lose in overtime. However, they almost lost in regulation due to a Vandy missed field goal. Vanderbilt did miss that field goal, but it could have been worse. So, Kyron Drones, 22 for 33, 66% pass rating, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 322 yards. The rushing game wasn't that great either. Um, Tuden was their leading rusher with 9 carries and 34 yards and a touchdown, which isn't great for a team that people thought was going to be competing in the ACC championship, or at least in the running for it, is not great. And the other big one, the Florida State Seminoles getting taken down by the Boston College Golden Eagles. Now, this one was a big upset. Of course, everyone had FSU favored, and Florida State looked exactly how they looked in week 0. They did not look like the same team they were last year. Norvell did not look like the same coach. He looked worried throughout that game. Uh, DJ Uliangalole, or whatever his name is, because no one on this planet can pronounce it apparently. Um, but DJ looked terrible. He had no clue where to throw the ball. His passes were sometimes good, but sometimes completely off target. His receivers couldn't catch, especially at tight end. He could not catch a ball to save his life. Um, Notre Dame versus Texas A&M, very good game, very good win for Notre Dame. Now moving on to week 2, we'll talk about the big game at the big house. The Texas Longhorns will take on the Michigan Wolverines. Now, I think Michigan loses this game. I think their defense is good. I don't think they're as good as last year. And I think this game will go in Texas's favor. Quinn Ewers is a very good quarterback. I don't know how Michigan's defense is going to handle Quinn Ewers, but we'll see how that game goes. I have Texas winning that game and moving to 2-0. Next game, next big game I want to talk about is North or North Carolina State versus Tennessee in the Duke Mayo Classic. It's also going to be a very good game. I think Tennessee pulls this one out. I'm not the highest in NC State's quarterback this year. I don't think Casey Bailey is that good. Or sorry, not Casey Bailey. Grayson McCall. Grayson McCall. I don't think he is that good of a quarterback. I think he's going to struggle up here against Tennessee. I believe this game is being played at North Carolina. No, it's in a neutral site at Bank of America Stadium in North Carolina. So similar aesthetic to Atlanta being neutral, neutral for Georgia. Um, but yeah, now on to my two games. Again, attending this Miami Hurricanes game against Florida A&M. This is going to be a very, very blowout game. While my other game of the week does scare me a little bit, given the what happened last week, this one shouldn't be a problem for Miami. I do see Florida A&M getting up points. Could be in garbage time. Good. Could be on a trick play. Could be blown coverage. Could be a mistake because at the end of the day, I'm including myself in here. All of us are kids. We're all college students. We're all kids. We all make mistakes, and humans in general make mistakes. We're not. They're not the pros, so there will be some mistakes. And so I think Miami takes this one, probably 63-7, around there, with a garbage time touchdown from FAMU. Now the one that scares me is Oregon versus Boise State. Oregon, I think this week is on upset alert. Boise State is one of the best Group of 5 teams in college football this year, and I really do think Oregon might struggle. It scared me last week. I thought we were going to put up 14 touchdowns or something like that, given the fact how hyped up Oregon was this entire season. I thought we were going to put up at least 60, and we put up 24 and allowed 14. Only 10-point differential between the Oregon Ducks and the Idaho Vandals. Now, hopefully, Dillon Gabriel and this O-line can figure it out. Because otherwise, I don't know. This if that offensive line for Oregon cannot figure it out, this is gonna be a problem season for Oregon. A season that looked very promising, a season that looked like they are championship favorites, all of a sudden turns to, oh, are we even gonna make the playoffs? All of a sudden turns to, can we beat Ohio State and Michigan? Because what Idaho showed me last week was, no, we can't beat Ohio State. Ohio State's winning the Big Ten. We're not getting a top seed. We may squeeze into the playoffs, but we're not beating Ohio State. If we do end up playing like Oregon played against Idaho. Now, currently, as of recording this, Indiana is beating Western Illinois, and SMU is beating BYU by 2. But other than that, I believe our Monday night game, if there is not. As I'm just scrolling. Next game, Nebraska, Colorado. This should be a Colorado win, in my opinion. Dylan Raiola, yes, he looks good. Problem is he's a true freshman going up against a senior quarterback in one of the best in the nation, probably the best college football player in the country in Travis Hunter, and a coach that is not the most experienced but did okay, versus a coach who went from the NFL into college right now with a true freshman quarterback and a program that has struggled for a bit. I think Colorado gets this as a win. We'll see. This is going to be a lot closer of a game. This is a game that could go either way. I will say that I think Colorado is winning this one. However, it is a toss-up of a game. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, we'll see. This has been your boy Daytime Cheese, and I'll see you next time.